Hey folks, this is John Oakes coming to you once again here from Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. Today, as we always do it here anytime you see me on film, pretty much going over some new inventory that we got in here, and that's what we're doing today. We have not had one of these for a little while here, but we're gonna have this one, and I believe we have another Roadrunner coming up here fairly soon here in the future. So again, if you're looking for a Roadrunner, we're probably going to have a couple of them coming up here real soon. So this one right here, just to give you kind of a basic run through on the drive line and all the running gear and so forth. We've got our 69 Plymouth Roadrunner here. It's got a 383 cubic inch Mopar engine in it. It is not the numbers match motor, but it is a period correct motor. And when we go underneath the car, obviously on the block, we'll be able to see that date code, and I'll call that out for you there whenever we get there. Now, as far as the rest of the drive line, we've got the 727 Torqueflite automatic transmission. We also have the Mopar 8 3/4 inch rear end. It does have the shore grip differential in it with a 308 gear. This car is power steering, and it does in fact have the power brakes. It is disc up front, drums on the rear, and it's all complete with the emergency brake all hooked up. As far as our wheels and tires that it's sitting on, we've got the 14-inch Magnum 500 style rally wheels here with the chrome finish and the black inserts. And then we also have the Cobra Radial GTs here on the car. Sizes on those, I believe, was 225/70 R14s on both front and back, which makes it really nice whenever it's time to do tire rotations and all that stuff. You just flip-flop them front to back. Now, along with that, basically, as with all of our cars, we're going to have some sort of bright work on the car. This car, not only do we have the chrome front and rear bumpers, which we'll take a closer look at when we get there, but we also have various emblems and trim and so forth that we're going to go over with you right now as we do our walk around. So again, done here in the orange. We've got the black stripes up here on the hood and continuing over onto the fenders here as well, matte black. So again, that's a very nice look for this car. As far as the rest here, as we come back to the door, we do have, in fact, the Roadrunner decal with the Roadrunner badging here also where it should be. Doors, obviously we can see our gaps, front and back, and again, those are very uniform, very close to one another, and they're pretty tight gaps too. It looks really good. Body lines all line up on the car, and your elevations with your rear quarter panel and your front fender here all in alignment with that door. So everything looks all good here. Bright work back here on the door now. Of course, we have our mirrors. We've got both driver and passenger side mirrors. The chrome finish on these round mirrors is in great shape. The glass in the mirror in great condition too. Up above here, as far as our side windows go, we've got our vent window or wing window, we've got our door glass and our quarter window. The windows are slightly tinted and there's no chips or cracks in any of the glass, so that's all in good shape. As far as the trim work around them, well, as usual with a lot of these cars here, you've got just a little tiny wee bit of pitting on that vent window frame. As far as the trim on our side glass here, the actual door glass, that is all in good shape, and these drip rail moldings are all in great condition too. Again, nice and shiny, nice and straight, all looks good. The other thing I always do is check that rain gutter for smoothness, and it is nice and smooth all the way around. Of course, we also have our chrome door handles here, and those, again, an item that gets a lot of use and wear and tear on it. We do see just a little wee bit of pitting on that door handle. All in all though, very well conditioned overall. So let's go ahead and open our door up. Take a look at our interior for the first time. From the driver's side, we see that it's got the all black interior. It's got the split bench up front, and then of course the bench in the back. Seat belts are all included. It does in fact have the retractable lap belts up front, your traditional lap belts in the back. Factory dash on this car, all in good shape. Factory instrumentation, with the exception of the common 3 aftermarket gauges that people always add in, kind of as a safety precaution, really, just so you can monitor things closely. You've got the voltmeter gauge, the water pressure, or I said water temperature gauge, and the oil pressure gauge. It's got the factory radio in it also. You can see over there on the glove box side of the car, you've got the Roadrunner emblem and the actual Roadrunner decal up there too. The seat upholstery, all in really good shape. No rips or tears anywhere in that. Same thing with the carpeting as well. Again, all of that is in really good shape. Our seals all the way up around our door frame here, all in good shape, all solid, all nice and soft. No rips or tears anywhere, and all secured very well on the door. As far as the door panel itself goes, all of that's in great shape. You can see how well conditioned these door panels are. Even the armrest pads, no rips or cracks anywhere in that upholstery either, so those are really nice. And your door weather stripping all the way around the door, all intact. Again, that's going to seal up very well. You also have the little rubber bump stops there too on the door. So we'll close up this door. Shuts very nice and easy here. Again, a testament to how well all the panels and so forth are fitted on this car. As we come back to quarter panel, again, all the panels on this car super straight all the way around. So again, you got the big long quarter panels. Those are all good and solid, nice and straight. If we look up here at our rear glass here, again, there's no chips or cracks in the glass itself, slightly tinted. If we see through the glass, we can see we do in fact have a set of 6x9 speakers up here in that rear package tray. All of your bright work or your molding, the trim work around that window, it's all securely fastened to the car, nice and straight, looks very good. Of course, on the Roadrunner, again, another big car, another big trunk on these cars. So you can see the fitment of the trunk lid itself. Nice gaps all the way around on it. Elevations with your quarter panels all look good too. And then we get all the way to the rear of the car. So our tail lights, if we look at our bezels, again, the bezels are in really good condition here. Just showing a little tiny bit of pitting. You've got no chips or cracks in the lenses whatsoever. Those all look very nice here. As far as the trunk lid itself, of course, we've got our Roadrunner decal right in the center, and then the Roadrunner badging over here on the right-hand side. Chrome bumper is in excellent condition here. No pitting here on these bumpers whatsoever. No scratches, no cracks, no dents or dings anywhere in the bumper. And then if we look below, you can see that it does have both your backup lights down here, and those all function correctly. No chips or cracks in the lenses. The ending to our exhaust system here, nice oval slash cut tip back here. So that's pretty much it for the rear of the car. Now, before we move around to the passenger side, we'll take a look at the trunk interior. So with the trunk lid up, again, the hinges and the trunk spring doing as it should, holding that big trunk lid up. The underneath of the trunk lid done the same orange as the rest of the car. Our weather stripping all the way around in excellent condition here, nice and soft. Again, all anchored secure. Our rain gutters here, or water channels, all solid, all good and straight. And then of course the interior of the trunk here. We've got a nice trunk mat here. We'll just try to lift up a little bit. All painted the same color as the car, which that's kind of the way it should be. Trunk mat's in great shape. We've got a full-size spare, and we've got the bumper jack in there as well in case you would ever have an emergency there. So that's all complete back here. So let's close this up now. Again, that shuts very nice and easy. And now we'll work our way over to the passenger side. So again, standing back here, I'm looking from back all the way to the front. And again, everything is all in alignment. So again, your elevations, that door is adjusted very nice. So everything all lines up the whole way down the side of the car here. Now, as we get up towards our door, again, all of our trim work here is in really good shape. Like I said, same thing as on the other side, just a little wee bit of pitting there on that vent window, but all the other trim work all looks very good on the car. Same thing with that door handle, just a very, very subtle bit there. The actual mirrors are in great shape, the chrome finish and the glass, and the same thing with our door glass over here now. No chips or cracks anywhere in that. That's all in really good shape. So we'll go ahead, open our door up. And now we'll get you the view of the interior from the passenger side. Again, dash is in great condition on the car. As I mentioned there, the factory instrumentation other than the 3 aftermarket gauges. The seat upholstery on the split bench and the rear bench seat all in really good shape there. Again, all the seat belts included. Carpeting all the way around all looks good too. If we look at our door panel now on the passenger side of the car, again, very nice condition here. All your trim work and so forth is in great shape. And again, no cracks or tears in that armrest pad at all. All of our weather stripping and seals, same thing over here. All good, all soft, all attached good and secure. And it's going to make the car as watertight as possible for a 69 Roadrunner. Let's go ahead and close that. Again, that shuts easy. Again, you've got that matching Roadrunner badging and decal. You've got the fender mounted antenna, which you can raise up on your own if you need the added reception there. And then we come around to the front of the car. So nothing special up here at the front. This is just all typical, just stock OE style stuff up here. Your grille is in great condition. It's not broke, cracked, or anything like that. The chrome front bumper is in great condition here again. No pitting, no cracks in the finish, no dents or dings anywhere. Parking lights and so forth, those are all in great shape. The lenses have no chips or cracks in those. Your headlights, sealed beam, low and high beam here, no chips or cracks in any of that. Of course, up here on the front of your hood on the left-hand side, we've got the Plymouth badging here. Obviously, you see this would be your correct hood. You've got the dual scoops kind of off to the sides there, and where those grill areas are, you do in fact have the 383 badging as well. The hood fitment itself is in really good shape. Cowl area here is in great condition too. Windshield wipers and blades, the arms and the blades, those are all in great condition. And then of course you've got all of your trim work around the windshield area here, which is all securely anchored, nice and straight all the way around. And again, that windshield, no chips or cracks. As we come back up to the front, I'm going to go ahead and open our hood for us. There we go. So again, with the Mopars, is what you do with a lot of cars here. You've got kind of a 2-latch mechanism. So you got your slide latch right here, and then once you get it up, you usually have the secondary latch that you reach up, both of which are functioning as they should for this car. Now, as you can see, under the hood, first thing is the hood itself painted the same color as the exterior of the car. Hood insulation all intact, no rips or tears. It's not hanging down everywhere. It's all properly secured here. You've got your little rubber flap that they had, and that is in great condition too. And then as far as the actual engine bay, it is all painted the same color as the rest of the car. So back in the day when Mopar was building these cars, this is the way they did it for the paint. So everything was done the same color. Now as far as the motor goes, like I mentioned earlier, it is a period correct 383 motor. Pretty much OE looking underneath here, you've got the OE style air cleaner, but it does have that 383 Roadrunner engine decal on there. You've got your all your breathers and stuff, so everything vents properly. As far as the carburetor that's underneath there, that is a Holley Street Avenger carburetor, 770 CFM carb there, and it does in fact have the electric choke there. As far as your intake, that is an Edelbrock aluminum intake, painted to make it look like it belonged on the car. And then of course we've got the stock valve covers. So that's kind of your air fuel delivery. As far as your ignition goes on the car, we've got the stock style points ignition here. You've got a stock style coil as well. Then you have here some 7mm plug wires. Again, they all look to be in good shape there too. And then for cooling on the car, we've got the OE style radiator. We've got a nice chrome shroud on there. And as far as the fan blade goes, that would be a, I believe, 6 blade steel fan on this one here. So that's going to keep things nice and cool for you. You do in fact also have the Roadrunner horn all hooked up, and it does function as it should by going right through the horn button on the steering wheel. So that is all functional here. As far as the exhaust goes on the car, we've got the stock cast exhaust manifolds here, emptying into a full 2.5-inch exhaust, dual exhaust on the car, and it's got the tube style mufflers on it back there too. So it's going to give it a nice sound for one of these older motors. Just give it that nice deep throaty sound that everybody's looking for. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's power steering, power brakes, disc brake up front, drums on the rear, complete with the emergency brake, and our Roadrunner has the fender tag on it too with all your codes on it. So it is there present. Now, as far as the rest of the driveline, like I started off with, it does have that 727 Torqueflite automatic transmission. It's also got the Mopar 8 3/4-inch 308 shore grip rear in it. So again, a good drive line for this car, and a very nice looking car here too. Good and solid all the way around. So at this point, I always kind of recommend that if you're not viewing this video on our company website, always go there and check it out there, because again, you're going to have upwards of 100 photos that you can look at. You could blow them up, take a look at everything, save them if you'd like. You can do all kinds of stuff there and really check the car out. And that's going to give you photos of everything. I mean, all the walk around stuff, interior, under the hood, trunk, and even the underside of the car. Also, you're going to have our retail pricing on our website. The fact that that does include enclosed shipping to anywhere within the contiguous 48 states. And it also includes our Hanksters 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty. If you're interested to see a little bit more about how that actually works, just reach out to us there. We'll be glad to go over that process with you. Also, there are multiple items. If you're looking at this car and you might be wanting something maybe like air conditioning, that's a very popular one for us here. Some kind of aftermarket accessory or item, just let us know what it is you're wanting to have added to it, and we'll be glad to get you a quote on parts and labor to have that installed also. Like I said, we do all kinds of things right here in-house. So with that said, we'll go ahead and take a moment now just to close this up. We're going to get it around on our lift, and then I'll meet back up with you here in just a minute, and we'll go through the entire underside with you next. Hey folks, thanks for returning back so that we can go through the complete underside of this 69 Roadrunner here. Going to go through like we always do, point out to you all the components and accessories that we see under here, and give you a good idea of the condition of everything that we see. So starting here at the front, of course, behind our chrome front bumper, we've got our radiator here. So I'm looking at the bottom of that. I want to make sure that there's no leaks or drips there for anybody interested in purchasing. And again, it is nice and dry. So no leaks or drips across the entire bottom of the radiator, nothing at the drain petcock, and also nothing at the lower radiator hose. The other thing we have down here, we've got the transmission cooler lines, and those are good and dry as well. Obviously, you know, we can see the bottom side of the fan blade and everything there. All of that looks good. Now, as we come back, as far as frame and suspension and so forth on the car, we come across our K-member here. And again, very important part, because that's where a lot of our suspension is bolted to on the car. And it is nice and straight. Doesn't look like it's ever been banged up on anything. So good. That's a good, solid piece on the front end of our car. As far as suspension goes, lots of things kind of to go over here, but all of which are all pretty much OE things here. So again, we've got our 1-inch front sway bar here. Sway bar bushings at the frame, as well as back at our sway bar end links, all look good. So there's no splits or cracks. Nothing looks dry rotted or anything underneath here. Looks like it's all in good shape, and it's going to keep this front end nice and tight here and make it for a better handling car. As far as the suspension on the Road Runners, well, as with most of your Mopar cars, you're going to find that it is a strut rod front suspension. So you've got your forward struts here. Those are all nice and straight. All of our mounting hardware all looks good on those. You've got your stock or OE control arms both on the top and the bottom here of the front end. Those all look good. Ball joints look good. Mounting hardware all looks good on those. And then of course we've got the torsion bars, which is part of that suspension, and that all looks good. So your bushings back at your cross members, back here at your front suspension where everything all hooks up, that all looks good. Now our Road Runner here, as we see it here, this is a power steering and power brake vehicle. So with the power steering, again, we always look at things like the power steering box. We're looking at lines, we're looking at drag link, pitman arm, tie rods, and tie rod ends. And all of that stuff, after being checked over, all looks to be in good shape. Tie rod ends all have the little rubber dust boots, just like all of the ball joints on the car here. So again, those have been maintained, and that's going to keep that grease in and dirt and debris out away from those joints, so that they last a whole lot longer for you. As far as the engine and driveline on the car, we'll go over the motor and the transmission right now. The motor, that's that period correct 383 cubic inch Mopar engine here. Date code as I see it on the block, because again, Mopars, most of which are really good at this, they actually emboss that number. It's actually cast into the side of the block, so it's dated as an 8/18 of 68. So that's why we call it out as a period correct motor, not numbers match. The oil pan itself, nice and dry all the way around here. Drain plug, dry. And the back of the pan here, dry. As far as the transmission, this is our 727 Torqueflite automatic transmission. Has the cover on the front here to protect that flywheel and torque converter. The actual oil pan on the transmission itself is all nice and dry. And then of course we've already checked that output shaft seal where your slip yoke slides into it, and that is dry. Your tranny cross member as well as the mount, all in good shape. The mount itself looks like to be one of those either urethane or prothane bushings, so that's going to be a good good item there. Keep everything good and solider, but yet offering the cushion that it needs. As far as the exhaust system, obviously we see that here. This is a full, I want to say, I think it was 2.5 inch exhaust here, coming from the exhaust manifolds. Those are the cast exhaust manifolds. All the way back, you see it's got those tube style, I don't know if they're necessarily glass packs. I mean, I guess you term them that, because that's what is inside of them basically. But again, those are the type of mufflers you have. And of course, it's got the tailpipes up over top of the rear end. We'll take a better look at those once we get all the way to the back of the car. As far as the frame and floors on this car, well, the frame sections are all good and solid, straight and square on this car as far as they go back, and then continuing at the back section of the car. The floors themselves look to be in great shape. Obviously, you can see they are undercoated, not necessarily a bad thing. That helps protect from the outside conditions. But again, you can see that this is all the correct metal here. You've got all your stamping lines in all of the floors. All of the bracing is all intact. So good, solid floors on this car. The actual pinch welds, as well as the rockers on both sides, are all straight and solid on this car down both sides. And then the drive shaft itself. This is a steel drive shaft. It is balanced or weighted, so that's going to help eliminate with those eliminate those driveline vibrations there on the car. And then the rear end, the differential. This is the Mopar 8 3/4 inch rear. I'm kind of blanking on the gear here, but we'll go over that here in a little bit here also. But again, it's got the shore grip differential in it, so that's kind of Mopar's, you know, posi unit, the shore grip unit. So again, good stout rear end. Your pinion seal, as well as the gaskets around the third member here, are all nice and dry on this car as well. As far as the rear suspension itself, we've got the multi-leaf rear suspension here. The shocks, those all look good. The mounting hardware, shock bushings on the eyelet ends here and so forth, those all look good. As far as brakes go here, we've got drum brakes on the rear. I think I failed to mention disc up front, and it is all power brakes. And then the rear brakes, the drums, they've all been outfitted with all of the plumbing for the emergency brake, and it is all functional as well. Wheels and tires, we do have a set of the 14-inch Magnum 500 style wheels. Obviously, you saw those from our walk-around video. And the tires, these are those Cobra Radial GTs. And if I can find the size here for you real quick, that is going to be a 225/70 R14 on all four corners. So again, what's nice about that, you've got the same size tire, same brand of tire, same tread. So whenever it comes time to doing any kind of tire rotations and so forth, it makes it real simple. You just flip-flop them front to back. As far as the rest of the exhaust, you see those tailpipes all the way out the back of the car, exiting right underneath that chrome rear bumper. Nice oval slash cut tip there. And of course, we have our fuel tank here. Looks great underneath here. There's no dents or dings anywhere. Your straps and mounting hardware, all solid, all in good shape. Trunk floors, from what we see underneath here, all look good. Of course, we saw them from the top side there as well, and that all looks good as well. No leaks, no drips, no wetness whatsoever around any of the fuel lines or brake lines on this car. So all of that, all those systems are all sealed up and good and safe. So with that said, that's pretty much it for our underside video here. Also, again, I always like to remind you folks, we are an ATC trailer dealer. We've got multiple models right here in stock, ready to be sold, possibly to put one of these muscle cars in and transport. If you're interested or in the market for a trailer, again, we have enclosed race/car trailers, multiple models. So go to our website. You can get there even going through our car website by going to the inventory tab, clicking trailer inventory, or you can go directly to our trailer site, which is hankstershaulers.com, and you can view everything that we have in stock, pricing, descriptions, options, and all kinds of photos of what we have here. With that said, we'll go ahead, lower this down off the lift. We're going to go underneath that hood as we always do, fire this 383 up, let you hear what that sounds like.